I think there is an obsession nowadays with most people in being the victims of something. And it could be of anything, because I believe that being a victim gains so much sympathy and attention today that people have become addicted to the idea of being a victim. Now, this isn't for everybody, and a lot of people are very unfortunately victims of some very shitty situations or realities. But I think because most people have seen the attention, the clout that it can bring, or just the overall views, there's like some weird social media mental sickness that gets people to think, hey, if I'm the victim of A, B, and C, and I'm never accountable for anything, people will always feel sympathy towards me and never have to hold me accountable for anything. It's like there are victims out there dealing with genuinely shitty situations that have to go through, not even have to go through tough shit, but are put through terrible shit, which don't even get the love and attention that they deserve sometimes. And then there's those people that take advantage of the process or the support that people or actual victims have to go through because they realize it gets attention. They realize it gets sympathy. They realize that people look at them and feel sorry for them and occasionally infantilize them in a way. And although there is genuine victims out there dealing with some horrible shit that they don't deserve whatsoever, not everyone can be a victim of everything. I feel like I'm seeing more and more situations where either people don't necessarily know how to properly communicate, so they victimize themselves as like, you know, dealing with horrible things. Like, for example, I just saw a TikTok not too long ago. And this isn't to bring any sort of gender things into this. I feel like this is just a genuine statement right here. But one person said to the other, so to make it even more, like clean slate, one person said to the other, "Hey, I would be interested in sexual relations." Sounds weird to say, but they made it apparent that like if this were to continue, you know, sexual stuff would be on the table, and I just want to inform you that that's something that I would be interested in because that is very important to me. And that is them very much informing the person and kind of asking for consent to say, is this something that you would be okay with? Is this something that down the line, of course, this is no pressure for it to like happen right now, but this is me giving you the heads up of, hey, this is going to be a topic of conversation and a thing that I would be interested in doing with you. That's the heads up they gave them. Then the person got that message and decided to post it onto TikTok because I guess they wanted validation and attention online for whatever they might be feeling, saying something along the lines of like they feel rushed, or along the lines of it was something presented as like a negative thing. And it was negative at the fact that he communicated that sort of thing, which to me is mind blowing because I don't think communication can get any clearer than that. It wasn't a case of this is happening now, but it was a case of, hey, this is something that I'm genuinely interested in doing with you, and I want to give you the heads up that this is going to be a topic of conversation later down the line. And if you aren't interested in that, it's something very important to me. If you're not interested in that, we should probably end our relations right now because I don't want this to be an issue later down the line. Like, I don't think there's any sort of clearer type of communication that this person used. But the comments of that video, especially since it was piloted as a negative thing, is like, oh, you know, people need to be lonelier. Oh, you know, there's so much hate against this person, right? Even though the method of communication couldn't be clearer, the intentions couldn't be clearer, I don't think that there was anything wrong with the approach of that. And sure, everybody has their different ways of approaching things and the ways that they want to be approached. But I think especially nowadays with how sensitive topics, especially sexual ones, can be, I think that this was the most respectful way of approaching it. But now I look at that as this person not only didn't necessarily interpret it correctly, which misinterpretations happen, but the audacity to then post it on social media without his consent as well is weird because it's just like, hey, I see the opportunity to be a victim and to highlight myself as a victim in front of millions of people. And the thing is, this, I'm pretty sure it went viral, but now it's just like, okay, it was already odd enough. Maybe there's a bit of communication. Maybe the way that he said it wasn't necessarily as clear, but to now put him on blast online for millions of people to see is where you're immediately in the wrong. Like, you kind of lost the point. if there was one on your side. Even if there was one fully on her side, yeah, it's completely gone by the time you decide to post it on social media and put this person on blast for essentially no reason or for good communication. And the worst part is, since social media is so one-dimensional and people don't really see the nuances of different types of conversations, there's no gray area on the internet, people take that and immediately demonize this person, saying that like, oh, they're a piece of shit, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff that you're usually seeing. At the end of the day, now it's a case of, along with hate on the internet, people realize that victimization gets attention, which gets views, and can actually bring financial shit to your life. Like, it can bring financial security to your life. People can make money off of these views. So I guess the addiction kind of just further goes into that, because it's like, what's the point in me trying to be my honest self? What's the point in me trying to do all of this when I could just say bad things always happen to me and people will constantly feel sorry for me and pay up by whatever means necessary? Now, this is not to victim blame at all or anything along the lines of that, because there are genuine people out there that unfortunately have to deal with very shitty situations. But the worst part about people honestly wanting to be victimized is that it takes the attention from those that actually deserve the attention and support and love from the shitty situations or the shitty hands they've been dealt. There are people out there that are dealing with insane shit that you can't even fathom, that all that support is ripped from their hands because some other influencer is spewing a bunch of bullshit and grabbing all the attention that they should deserve. There are victims out there being completely ignored because of these people. And that, to me, is the fucked up thing. There's no accountability, you're gaining sympathy, and you're manipulating your empathy. And it's a fucked up thing that a lot of people tend to do and dive way too deeply into. I do believe that there is value in transparency in communicating some of the stuff that you have been through, but I think because people have done that from a genuine place and have received lots of love, affection, support, people look at that and take advantage of it. And the ones that have ill intentions are now the loudest in the room. That's just some of my thoughts. Leave.